Here's Brody Brazil.
You know, I hear the sentiment pretty often of how easy it's been for the A's to get things going and get the relocation process moving in Las Vegas. And while that's true, in retrospect, like a lot of things came together quick. Two totally different land deals, one at the Wild Wild West site and the current one at the Tropicana Hotel, and even public money. It was like a matter of 1 month from the time the A's submitted their language in SB 509 until $380 million were approved by Clark County in the state of Nevada. It didn't take long for all of that to come together, but the point of this video is to showcase ways where things could have gone even faster. Yeah, there's a lot of what ifs here, and if those things happened, this whole thing actually could have been a lot easier for the A's to transition into Southern Nevada. I'll make that point in just a second, but really let me hammer home that narrative just one more time, that things happen quickly in Las Vegas. And this is not just related to the A's or sports. I think this is business in general. Like, they love to say yes in Las Vegas to projects, ideas, concepts. I get it. That's why they're ahead of the curve in a lot of different things. But the fact that things have happened quickly for the A's in Las Vegas, a little bit of yes and a little bit of no. Let's also remember here that it was early 2021 when the team officially declared that they would be doing parallel paths with Howard Terminal and Las Vegas at the same time. And so as we get into the beginning of 2024, it marks 3 full years since the A's in some way, shape, or form had been working on Las Vegas. They still don't have a shovel in the ground. At this point, they don't even have all the full details public or readily available. But again, 3 years into this project, and by the way, if in fact they do have opening day 2028 for the A's in Las Vegas, that'll mark 7 full years since they initially set out publicly and officially to at least start going in that direction. So again, a little bit of yes and a little bit of no that things do happen quickly in Las Vegas. I don't fully disagree with that, but there's also some yes and some no to that narrative. Let's begin with the what ifs here. Oh man, the irony of this. What if Allegiant Stadium had a baseball configuration? It doesn't. Hold your horses, catch your breath. But yeah, what if the A's and Raiders were roommates again? That would be a trip. And I mention Allegiant Stadium here because, yeah, the A's, I suppose, could try playing at their minor league facility. There's a lot of complications with that. I say their minor league stadium, Las Vegas Ballpark. Some people have also mentioned trying to fix up Cashman Field. That's a total non-starter for a lot of different reasons. Honestly, if Allegiant Stadium and the way it's set up, the way that it's under a dome, and if the field dimensions and size and seats all worked, like, the A's honestly might be playing their final season in Oakland for sure in 2024. Instead, 2024 is the end of their contract with the Coliseum, and 25, 6, and 7 are still very much yet to be determined. But I'm here to tell you right here, right now, if Allegiant Stadium were ready for baseball, if they could play baseball there, and boy, what a conversation that would have to be with the Raiders. Hey, Raiders, this is Las Vegas here. We need a favor. What? Mark Davis says, what? Yeah, whether he and they would allow that, I'm not sure. But if it meant Las Vegas getting the A's in town, I think they would at least ask for that favor. But Allegiant Stadium does not have a baseball configuration. Like I said before, if they did, you could almost bank on it that the A's would officially be done playing in Oakland after 2024, and they would just temporarily start playing at Allegiant and figure things out from there. Allegiant Stadium with baseball would have definitely got them to Las Vegas and bought them some more time. What if public money, the $380 million of this project from Nevada and Clark County, by the way, you can see this is a screenshot from one of the official legislative sessions in the presentation. It's split up between the county giving $120 million, and the state, I think, has $180 million in transferable tax credits. But the $120 million relies on general obligation bonds by Clark County. What if public money came just a lot easier for the A's in this situation? In a sense, those bonds, they're floated. They do have to be serviced. They do have to be paid back. They have to be paid back, obviously, a larger value than what they're being paid for initially, like larger than the $120 million because of interest. But the point being, the stadium and attendance and tax revenue on site, the 9-acre site, it has to all be so good that it pays back the $120 million over time. That puts pressure on the A's to, put butts in the seats, have people spend money on site. This is not as easy as it sounds to even understand. First, let's begin there. But this is a lot harder than, just take the $180 million of transferable tax credits, like the state of Nevada is giving out. The Clark County side of it, they're $120 million, I believe. It's just a lot harder to actually to reimburse and to make that happen. This puts a lot more pressure on the success of the A's in Las Vegas than the Nevada side of it. What if there was a fan activist group for Major League Baseball in Las Vegas? I mean, Portland has a group like this. I'm pretty sure Charlotte at one point had a group like trying to get baseball to come to their town. Does Montreal have a Bring the Expos Back group? Obviously in Nashville, there's a whole full-fledged organization with the Stars. My buddy Dave Stewart is a huge part of that. They are actively trying to get baseball, Major League Baseball, to their town. Las Vegas doesn't have a group of fans or people or anybody that's clamoring for Major League Baseball or specifically clamoring to get the Oakland A's. The A's are in Nevada. The A's were in Carson City. The A's are in Clark County. The A's are in Las Vegas, pushing for themselves. But there's kind of like no other fan group creating momentum or public sentiment or trying to turn opinion or change opinion. It's the A's down there fighting for themselves to get themselves down there. And there's no real fan group or interest party to like help that out. Imagine if they had this down there the entire time. Number one, it would change the optics of it entirely. Politicians say, wow, here's a bunch of people that really want this. It makes my decision a lot easier. I mean, even on November 16th, when the Major League Baseball owners unanimously approved the A's relocation to Las Vegas, first off, this is a scene made by AI. Like, seriously, Microsoft Bing image creator. That's never happened. Look at the names on the back of the jerseys. It's all fake. But why wasn't there a scene just like that? There has been no group like that. Maybe there's a few individuals here and there. I've seen some of you in the comment section. I know individuals do exist, but there's definitely not been a group to help usher this forward. What if the land at the Tropicana site was larger, more acreage, and what if that site, that property, that 9 acres or more, what if it was already owned by the A's? In this case, it's still owned by GLPI and run by Bally's. They're all part of this deal to give the A's 9 free acres, to give them, I think, also $170 million to maybe demolish the site. But what if the A's had total control over a piece of land that was much bigger and also didn't have 2 giant hotel towers sitting on it today? That's not really a blank canvas right now. You're still relying on the fact that Bally's is going to tear that thing down and demolish it and level it and come up with their own plans for the other 26 acres of the site. You're also relying on the fact that Bally's in a couple years is still going to be in business and doing well enough in business that they want to push this thing forward. Right now, Bally's, look them up. They have a casino project in Chicago that is struggling so mightily that they've flat out opened the joint 24/7 now to try and capitalize on every hour of the day to try and make more money back because it's not anywhere near meeting expectations. It's like a fifth of expectations right now. So that Bally's project, not doing well in Illinois. And I'm not saying that's the case here. I'm just saying that is related to Bally's business. Bally's business is related to the A's business. The A's not owning their site and having total control over it. Look, this all could work out fine in a partnership. But the more links in the chain means that if one link breaks, that chain is in a lot more trouble. And again, not to mention, what if the land was larger? We are still talking about 9 acres. There's a lot of other videos I've made on that topic. You should check them out if you're interested. But brand new major league ballparks with a retractable roof, with all of this common space and art exhibits and neon museums, that doesn't usually just fit on 9 total acres. So that in itself is a problem, let alone the fact that the A's don't even own any of this. All of this would have come so much easier if they owned it and if it was a lot bigger. Now, this next one here, I'm definitely staying out of the weeds on it, but what if there were already media partners in place for Las Vegas and the A's? Essentially, when they go down there, they need to find somebody to broadcast their games, put them on television, put them on streaming devices. They also need to, like all other teams do, monetize that, generate revenue from that. But the challenge is being in the smallest major league market of Las Vegas, that if it exists, it will be the 40th market in the country, smallest in baseball by a pretty significant amount. A media partner, an obvious one, doesn't exist right now. And so you either have to manufacture it or reach out to someone or somewhere else. Again, I'm going to leave it pretty simple at this point to say that they're not going to a major market with an obvious partner and an obvious way to continue making broadcast money. What if private financing and renderings and blueprints and design information, these are also, by the way, I'm going to be very clear here, AI generated. No, these are not renderings that have come out that you've missed. That definitely hasn't happened yet. But what if private financing and public renderings were out? There would be so much more momentum behind this project to understand, here's what it looks like. Here's the money that's already secured. You know that saying, money in the bank? Yeah, that's what this would be. And public sentiment can move forward, and the obvious of, well, here's what it looks like, and excitement generated around another future amenity of the Las Vegas Strip. What if that had already been out for weeks or months at this point? That would have made this process so much easier on the A's, eliminated all the questions about what renderings exist, why were they not released? And by the way, on that note, I'll just quickly say, they were held back and tied into a terrible tragedy that happened in Las Vegas. That was almost about a month ago. So as much as I realize in that moment why things halted, there's been a lot of time and opportunity since then to go ahead and move forward with what they were about to release. They still haven't done it. But again, what if all of that were already out? Of course, that would have helped them along in this process. So again, things have gone quick in certain regards. Getting 2 different land deals, getting public financing, public funding, I should say. But there's been a lot of things that just could have been, and here I go again with the slam dunk reference, could have been grand slams. How about that? And the pitch hasn't even been made on several of them. So there you go. You made it to the end of this video. Thumbs up down below on that. I greatly would appreciate it. And also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so I can definitely see you back here next time.